Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om.
ಸರಿ, ಈಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ನೀನು ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om.
ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕ
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om.
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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. Hari Om to everybody. No response?
Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om,
Hari
Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Day first day, we were prompted to dwell intensely on the how the observance of Hari Om, observance of Maun becomes effective. So that led us to Papa's outpourings, which have been chronicled, which have been attached to In Quest of God. It was purely a dialogue between him. That means during the Mauna session, he was also engaged in communing with the Lord who is seated within. And when we go through that with that bhavana, with that mindset, we know the different types of thoughts that are arising. So those who are trying to practice this mauna, not merely for the sake of mauna, but for the sake of making the mind restful and to have a glimpse of the power behind. We were also making a mention that could have led Papa to bring out In Quest of God in 1928, because it is also a soliloquy. It is a dialogue. All these things will help us when we take to Mauna chanting. Previously also many of us were taking Mauna chanting. And we were deriving some joy out of it, otherwise we would not have continued. But now through the 21st session, he made us aware of the various steps that can improve the benefits arising from the observance of Mauna. Something like, observing our senses, all the 5 sense organs, later on also the organs of action, and then the various activities that are going on in the bodily level, like heartbeat, like blood circulation, digestion, breathing, about which we were not aware at all. And then also we were concentrating on pranayama exclusively, incoming and outgoing breath. And then finally to watch the antics of the mind. With an intention that the watcher is the real you, the self-immortal. By the first 2 or 3 steps, like concentrating on the organs of action, organs of perception, the physical bodily activities, the breathing exercises, mind, we are trying to keep the mind inside, Instead of it going out, we have kept the mind inside, and with that background, we start watching. And those of you who have been blessed with the glimpse, that watcher, that awareness wells up, and then Papa's declaration gives us the feeling the watcher is the real you, the self-immortal. And during that, this walking meditation was also recommended. Hariyo. So that let us not even mentally think that this can be possible only while we sit and close our eyes. He is not only within us, but he is also outside us. So when we try to take to this walking meditation, we start observing the trees, the bush, the flower, the birds, the sky, water, the space, the earth, suddenly, it becomes clearer and clearer to us. What is the message they convey? The first message they convey is, especially these trees and plants, every activity is going on in stillness. The moment you look at a tree, the first teaching it gives us is so many activities are going on, metabolism, so many things are going on there, but everything is in a quiet way, not making a fuss. And when we intensely look at it, we also have a taste of the presence of the looker. So many. So now every month, the prompting has come that every month on second Sunday, we will have this Mauna session. And in this Mauna session, so every month on second Sunday from October onwards, August and September, there will not be anything. From October onwards, October 13th, Sunday. October 12th happens to be our Puja Swamiji's.
Hariom Swamiji, we cannot hear.
क्या हुआ?
Audio is not working.
Audio is not working. Okay. Now? Okay.
Yes, Swamiji, we can hear.
Oh, yeah, so every month from October onwards, to begin with on 13th, yes, 13th October, we will have this Mauna session. On 12th October, many of you might be knowing that is our Puja Swamiji's 16th Mahasamadhi day. The moment we think about it, he is the epitome of silence, So we should not get stuck with the form, but the moment we think about it, what wells up is, he has been able to maintain this silence as a nature, as a part of his nature. It is not that he learnt anything. That was the inherent quality of him. And then that also reinforces that so many activities can be handled without making a fuss, without making a lot of sounds. So every time when we go through one session, each one should be a step towards the ultimate goal of becoming one with him. When Papa says, the watcher is the real you, the self-immortal, that means, we sit for a Mauna session, who is sitting, he wants us to ask, then we watch, and then finally we come to realize, watched all go away, and the watcher only remains, and you become the watcher immediately. We come back, and then our Guru says, the watcher is the real you, the self-immortal. So now we are very clear about it. In 2-3 lines, we can put our ultimate goal to be scaled. Every day, suppose we are observing about 10 minutes silence or 15 minutes silence, this can be made clear to our mind. The purpose of observing silence is to tune our mind with this reality and to move nearer or get a glimpse of the real watcher. And the outpourings that have appeared in Quest of God and later in the at the feet of God. That also once in a way we can read, so that how this Mauna session can help us to have a direct communion with Him. Yes, coming back to the walking meditation again. So from morning till evening, we will have 5 or 6, 45 minutes uh, Mauna session, and in between, we can have uh, walking meditation. And from October also, we may also include 1 hour karma activity, but physically involving. It can be any type of activity. It can be any type of activity that we will see whether it can be done in Ayodhyavan or wherever it's possible. They are gone now. So that we will see. So that even while acting, even involved in activities, we try to keep up the same mauna. So that there is a three-pronged approach of maintaining silence while sitting, while walking, while doing. So that the mind does not bring out a theory that this can be done only when you withdraw your activities. No. First we withdraw the activities, and then we start walking and seeing, and then later on also involving in some yoga, karma yoga. We will find out. Bodily labor. So from 13th October onwards, we will have this. And those of you who are trying to practice it at home may kindly include this. Even a vegetable cutting can become a activity. Even a sweeping, even a dusting, anything can become an activity. But the previously what we were doing and now what we are doing is totally different. Here every moment of our involvement is being witnessed. And see for ourselves what the result is. Whatever activity is there. So that no activity is taboo also, So these three come in a combined way, it will start moving. And after 2 or 3 months, every second Sunday. So we have also given the dates for November and December, so that people can plan well ahead. Either today or tomorrow, the first information will go through WhatsApp. We are not sending it through email ID now. The only problem ashram is not very clear is that how many people will attend. Last time it so happened that there was a total of 130 people. So they were given 3 places, ladies, gents. First we thought we will say first 50 or 60 we will have, the next 60 can be on the next day. Then we thought that is not fair. Let us leave it. Let us leave it to him to finally decide. So that is the only thing which is uncertain. How many people will come? More number of people means more number of space. And the simple food, that will continue. A simple breakfast and a simple lunch. Otherwise we may become sleepy or dull. Not necessarily sleepy. The mind is tempted after the. So immediately after the lunch we will have some physical activity. It won't be a very heavy activity, but it will be an activity. So that we slowly try to develop a stage where J. Krishnamurti, He has elaborately defined about meditation. Some clues. Hari Om. Hari Om. Meditation is one of the greatest arts in life. Perhaps the greatest, and one cannot possibly learn it from anybody. That is the beauty of it. It has no technique and therefore no authority. We have to develop this, In this way or that way, we cannot say. When you learn about yourself, this is important. Watch yourself. Watch the way you walk, how you eat, what you say. If you are aware of all that in yourself without any choice, that is a part of meditation. When you learn about yourself, watch yourself, watch the way you walk, how you eat, what you say, even including the gossip or jealousy. If you are aware of all that in yourself without any choice, that is a part of meditation. So meditation can take place when you are sitting on a bus or walking in the woods full of light and shadows and listening to the singing of birds or looking at the face of your wife or child. That means that the wall is demolished, Only this and that, no. Anywhere. This watching, watcher. We have to keep on remembering Papa's word. The watcher is the real you. The watcher is the real you. The watcher is the real you. Meditation is the emptying of consciousness of its content, the known and me. The flowering of love is meditation. Meditation is the movement of love. It is not the love of the one or the many. It is like water that anyone can drink out of any jar, whether golden or earthenware. It is inexhaustible. Meditation is the wandering through the world of knowledge and being free of it to enter into the unknown. Some clues on watching. All of them have scaled their heights because of this. And so Papa has put it in a simple language. Watcher is the real you. Be a witness to all movements, detach yourself from them, then you will realize that you are the eternal witness and the body is not yourself. Identification with the body will go, witness consciousness will be attained. Sakshi Bhav. Most of you can practice it when you are in meditation. When you are active and moving about, it is difficult to maintain that consciousness. Many rules have to be observed for control of mind. Observance of silence is one of them. Who is observing silence? Let us try to find out. Sit silent, detach yourself from the mind, watch its activities. The watcher is the real you, the self immortal. So, this is our guiding principle. The Mauna session should enable us to experience the presence of the core of our being, Ram, within us. For enabling us to have this journey more fruitful, we try to read once in a way the outpourings of Papa, which is there in the Inquest of God, and a few portions from At the Feet of God. especially the portion, talks with the mother and her solutions of the child's difficulties. It is purely an inner dialogue. We are training our mind to have an inner dialogue with that power which gives us the, or which facilitates even this question answer. It is not an outside power. The subtle and mysterious power, as Papa has defined as Ram, is that we are not aware. Still, our sense of individuality is feeling that it is acting, it is taking this Mauna session, it is doing all these exercises, even the spiritual exercises by itself. But even the very, very, very act of seeking Him is made possible because of Him and Him and Him only. So, in order to get stabilized in this dialogue will help us. We will read a few portions from this dialogue. What is the goal? He is not asking anybody outside to attain Ram. Answer. What is self surrender? Resignation to the will of God. How can we attain this? By continued remembrance of God. What is Ram? He is at once light, love, and bliss. He is the only internal truth. Love, light, love, and bliss. Where can we seek Him? Seek and find Him in ourselves and in the whole universe about us. God has manifested Himself as the universe, the one supreme Paramatman, who is by nature formless and without qualities, and ever existence, has assumed the variety of forms that we see in the world. Let us see Him in all things and beings as the one imperishable reality. What is the result of self surrender? Self surrender brings pure, everlasting bliss. How? When the human will is given up for the divine will, all the responsibility of the instrument, the devotee, ceases, and the consciousness of the individual ego is merged in the divine consciousness. Consciousness of the ego is merged in the divine consciousness. Then all his actions, thoughts, and words emanate from the divine source, leaving him entirely free from all doubts, desires, and bonds. In fact, the devotee becomes filled with supreme bliss, on which alone his mind constantly dwells. The ego being absent, there is nothing on which his actions, words, and thoughts can leave any impression. We have to read, ponder over these words. At the moment, what is happening? When our actions, words, and thoughts, immediately after it comes out, it leaves an impression in our, good, bad, favorable, unfavorable. Some label is pasted. But here is the answer is the action comes, bus. Spontaneously it comes, bus. There is no prefix or suffix. It doesn't leave anything. Everything comes on spontaneity. The ego being absent, there is nothing on which his actions, words, and thoughts can leave any impression. He is now free from all sin and sorrow. He is merely a witness, dispassionate, blissful, of the grand play or Leela of God. Can we see God? Yes, we can see Him in His works, in His creation. Works means creation. In His manifestation, He pervades all. There is no place where He is not. Every object is none other than He. Question: if God is one, why does He appear in different names and forms? Answer: the one has appeared as many for the working out of His Leela or play. What underlies the appearance of many? The quality is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. The objects appear different accordingly as any one of these qualities is predominant in it. What relation do these qualities bear to our complete resignation to the will of God? Answer. In the condition of perfect resignation to the will of God, the devotee rises above the three qualities and becomes essentially divine. He becomes a mere instrument in the hands of the Almighty Lord. He then fulfills the work of God. He is made to exist only for that purpose. Truly, he is then the incarnation of God himself as Sri Krishna, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna Chaitanya, or Mahapurushas. O mother, your name is Ram. What is your form? Since name and form always go together. Your name is Ram. What is your form? Since name and form always go together. Answer. I am without name and form. To realize me as without these, O Ramdas, you have to first assume me as having them. You have to assume. Question. You are one, but the universe is full of diversity. It is made up of millions of forms. How is this, mother? Answer. I am one, formless, nameless. I choose to be many, hence I have to assume forms without which I cannot be many. Question. You are eternal, and how is it that your forms are perishable? Answer. It is as it should be. When one is real, many must be unreal. So form is born, remains for a time, then dies. Birth, change, growth, dissolution. That is the nature of forms. Question. How can you exist, O mother, when your forms perish? Just as, child, the gold remains even after the ornament is melted, during which process it loses its form, as also in the case of a lump of ice, which loses its form under heat, but the water of it is made remains. And the fundamental question, why did you wish to be many? Answer, I desire to have a play, and a play cannot be unless there may be more than one. Hence, I had to manifest myself as many. What do you gain by this play? Anandam, supreme bliss. How can you speak of bliss, O mother, when the world is seen full of misery? Understand, my child, it is I myself acting as miserable, happy, angry, etc. How can you be acting as miserable and remain unaffected at the same time? Acting is always an appearance, it does not affect the actor. The actor pretends to be weeping, while all the time he remains internally at heart unmoved. So also with all other feelings and emotions. What is this play of yours made up of? It is made of three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, harmony, activity, and dullness. How is variety seen in this diversity? By countless modes of combinations of these three qualities. These three gunas make together what is called prakriti. Once in a way we read this, some ideas. So whenever the intellect poses some questions, we may be able to detach ourselves and see it. And the answer also comes from within. This is another facet of this Mauna session. Fundamental questions which torment us during our waking state, which denies or restricts our movement towards awareness of Him, all these questions can also melt away during the Mauna session, simply by watching. Previously, when the doubts came, I have a doubt, we will say. I have identified myself with the doubter, totally. But in this Mauna session, when such a doubt comes, we have to watch. And that very act of watching removes the question. Because even to pose the doubt, where from it comes? And we are trying to link ourselves, attach ourselves with the watcher. So this Mauna session, as we keep on doing it, it will bring out so many facets. Let us not think that it is only for the sake of withdrawing. No. It is to understand the play of God. For enabling us to understand the play of God, for a short time we have to withdraw ourselves from our field of activities and then train our mind to watch everything and then come out of it and start watching. That means the detachment takes place. Though activities are going on even during our waking state, to a very great extent we are not affected by it. The boss says you do it, you are doing it, that's all. That stage we will reach. So this Mauna session, as now Papa has prompted all of us to seriously think about it. Now our effort is to make it as effective as possible so that during the non-Mauna session, we will be able to try to keep our link with Him. Who is within, who is within, who is within.
Swamiji, what are the things to watch in mind, Swamiji?
Just watch, Mridane. No other activity. No? How to train the mind to watch, each one has to try. The simple is we have to watch.
Oh.
By watching, the sense of individuality gets separated from the watched. There is a watcher and the watched. At the moment, I think I am the watcher. No. As we keep on progressing, we will find the watcher is the real you. The watcher is the real core of our being. And everything comes under the watched. So that it does not become ours. Our identification with the watched will not be there. At the same time, we will be handling. We will not be indifferent. And it will be spontaneous. every answer now it comes. It is not planned, It comes. Questions, answers, everything, it comes spontaneously. That means the traffic is cleared. When the moment the I stand there, finished. That is why when the traffic, when it is in a clear traffic, when the deliverance is going on, that means thoughts arise, talks arise, action arise. When it is going on, it doesn't leave any impact. With this background, when we go back to Papa's various teachings, it becomes very, very clear. That means, his will. The sense of individuality has become subservient. Now now in our case, it is the boss. So the sense of individuality becomes subservient to the power. It recognizes the power. It realizes that it exists because of that power. It draws everything from that power. So that is how the subservience comes. And the moment the ownership, doership, sufferership, when it is transferred to him, we will always say his will, his will, his will. This is what Papa showed us by his life. So for all that, this Mauna session will help us. We have been trying for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, various methods. Those methods have not given us this. So those methods have trained us to reach this stage and to understand. If 20 years or 30 years or 40 years back, if this was given to us, we would not have understood. As we were sharing, previously, when we were all coming here, from 60s, mid-60s, we have been coming here. And then every time when we come here, apart from spending time with Mataji's room, We used to spend 1 or 2 hours in Papa's Samadhi Mandir, which was called Homa Mandir. There will be no activity, no image, no ritual, no sound. That was a place Mataji had declared, is exclusively for connecting ourselves with the cosmic being. 1963 September vision. 1963 September vision. There, Mataji has specifically mentioned immediately after the Samadhi has taken place. Because this facility was offered there. That everyone should try to commune with him. I say she was very particular that there should not be any image or ritual there. Nothing should block us. But it is a sanctified place where the God realized saint's physical body was offered. And she named it as Homa Mandir. Somehow, nobody took notice of it, or God did not make us to notice this all these years. We were involved in chanting. Probably in our case, he felt that we need that 20, 30, 40 years of this outer activity is necessary. But a stage will come, where am I? What is happening to me? In spite of the fact that I have been doing this sadhana for so many decades, what is happening to me? I am there. At times I feel I am there where I started. When we get this feeling, then God gives us the prompting to go to the next stage, which is what is called now the inward journey. Previously, we were stuffing our intellect with what all he has told about the inward journey. The moment we talk about it, we can immediately say, yes, Papa has said this, Mataji has said this, like that. But now, we are actually trying to go through it.
Swami, on 21st, in the non-Mauna period, some of us could experience the only chanter, nothing to be observed. We felt that we are alone. Some feeling we had after the Mauna period.
After the Mauna period,
we felt that only the watcher remains, nothing to be watched inside. But sometimes we felt like some of us.
No. When the watcher is exclusively watching, it will emerge that the watched will go away from the scene and watcher only remains.
Exactly. That's what some of us
yeah. But we need this watching first, There is a subject-object where the object is removed and the subject remains. I'll take it later. It has been, these are Mataji's words, appeared in the September issue of 1963, after the Mahasamadhi of Param Puja Papa. It has also been decided to stop all celebrations in the ashram, including my 60th birthday, which some devotees have been contemplating to celebrate. All are therefore requested not to come to the ashram, especially on such days, Puja Papa's birthday, Mahamayasi Day, Beloved Papa's Sannyas Day, if many devotees come. So, therefore, my request is that devotees may. Okay, so it is quite all. In this place, in the place where the holy Homa was performed, that is cremation, construction of a small mandir for meditation has been undertaken. Just imagine it. Construction of a small mandir for meditation. So this Homa Mandir is for meditation.
Meditation.
Idols or images will not be kept for worship in his mandir.
Uh,
All the devotees are requested not to send or bring any images for worship here or anywhere in the ashram. It was our beloved Papa's wish that we should behold him in all forms and consider the service rendered to all forms as his worship. So, in accordance with this divine wish, it is decided not to place images in the home mandir. So, it is a place for meditation.
meditation.
And it was going on till 1988. We were all coming, spending. Only one person will be there right from morning till evening. And everybody will come, they will do pradakshina, sit there. What we used to do is, as we have told many a times, we take the small books like Glimpses of Divine Vision, Sayings of Ramdas, Thus Speaks Ramdas, because it can be put in our pocket. Then we go there, read for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, try to dwell upon it, and suppose whenever we feel sleepy or dull, we get up, do the pradakshina, come again, sit. So 1 or 2 hours. So that was the place available for us to take to this inward journey. But from 88 onwards, it has not been there. So many of the people who have come, who have started coming from that period, may not have any idea at all. And even those senior citizens, probably they were not also not aware that it is meant exclusively for inward journey, which is a must for our ultimate goal. So now he is remembering. When we started remembering this, absolute silence is maintained in that home mandir. Absolute silence. Inside, nobody will open their mouth. And as we used to say, in 69, for the sake of new people, in 69, Mataji herself used to take us there. If we remember right, 11 to 11:30. We all go there. Mataji and ladies will sit on the other side. We gents sit on this side. Half an hour. Mataji will never say you should do this, you should do that. The freedom is given to all of us to take to the inward journey in any way we feel. Many of us learned the mental chanting during that period. Because mental chanting, how to sit, we were all active, active in our own fields. We come here for 2 or 3 or 4 days. And to sit idle for some half an hour is a tough job initially. So then we try employ, something should be done, Nama chanting. But we cannot open our mouth. Then what to do? Mental chanting. And slowly mental chanting develops. There is no other place where we can try mental chanting, only in home mandir. Because in bhajan hall, various activities, either in the form of bhajan or nama chanting or guru sthiti or something, everything we talk, the sound comes out. Prayer, everything. So that was a place exclusively meant for that. And now that 30, 35 years, we did not have that privilege. So that nobody was kindled to know there was a place in ashram. Mataji's own words are, it is a small place for meditation. Meditation means going within. So now, in our centenary hall, that is why there is no image. We are trying to replicate this. There won't be any talk there, especially when this session is going on. It was not at all used for anything else. Because of the rains, we started having our satsang there. Otherwise, always it will be silent only. Anyhow, so coming back again to the Mauna session. So we try to add so many dimensions also. That means we are not preparing, just like, when we decide to go to any place. From the date of your planning till you start, it will be there in your mind, Similarly, when we have fixed the date, now October 13th, October 13th, we are going to have Mauna session through which we make a conscious effort to feel His presence. If that is coming back to us very often, almost daily, mysteriously you will find so many dimensions are coming out. And to give a boost, Papa's outpourings and at the feet of God help to a very great extent, very great extent. One simple this thing is when you take in at the feet of God, there are only two, me, the sense of individuality, and He, the power behind it. Bas, nothing else. The subject and the object, me. And the subject makes me understand that the object remains only because of the subject. With this background, when we sit for Mauna session, it will help us a lot. So those of you who are having this book at the feet of God, may kindly go through it, not for the sake of intellectual exercise, but to get more clarity. Now suppose we sit, are we in a position to commune with Him? Only I am there. So when we read this, oh, I am there, but He is also there who is making me I am. Oh. So this I am, which is a offspring of that indwelling reality, it has given us the freedom for the in sense of individuality to talk, to think, to act. Slowly we start realizing it. And so on 13th, these two dimensions are also will be included. Walking session, everyone can go through that walking session also. Please, those who are planning to take up this. Because walking session, walking meditation, any time we can practice. Most of us are walking almost all the time, no? So we don't have to specify a particular time for that. Normally, we will be in a hurry to get things done, something like that. Okay, but there may be some occasions where we will be able to calmly, quietly walk. We may be eating, but at the same time, there may be a time when we can slowly eat. We may be working. There may be a time when we slowly work. During all these, we try to detach the watcher and the watcher and the watched. Yes, now it is becoming clear that merely sitting for Mauna will not help much, excepting that we have conserved the vocal energy. That is a tangible gain, no doubt. But along with that, if these dimensions are also included, we will start enjoying the sweetness of it. And we have been assured by Papa that it will take us to the goal. So these are all some of the things which we wanted to share with you all. Also a few lines from Papa's. When we recede into the depths of silence within us, we arrive at the true basis of our life. We discover that from this source, all life and manifestation have come forth in their amazing variety and multiplicity. It is at this source that we discover the eternal fountain of peace and joy. When we recede into the depths of silence within us. So the small book, those of you are having inward journey. Those you don't have, you can ask, we will send the soft copy. Some words have been culled out wherever Papa has touched about this inward journey. Entire book we need not buy. Some clues are there. When the mind has worries, you say, I have worries. Watch the dynamics of the mind. When the detachment from it is perfect, the mind disappears and you will be in a state of perfect bliss. Now rise above the body consciousness. The bliss you enjoy will remain at all times and in all conditions, when physically active or at rest. There will be no returning to your old life of ignorance and confusion. You will live, move, and have your being in the eternal. It's the oft quoted words of Papa. Live, move, and have your being. You will always be in the awareness of the self. Realizing that you are the self, you move and act in the world. This is the highest attainment. What is principally required is the withdrawal of the mind from without to within, which means that the restless and roaming nature of the mind must be totally arrested by right thought, right contemplation, right meditation. The mind has to settle down, and the uncontrolled dynamics of it must be brought under subjection. Out of silence, tremendous forces are released, wonders are worked. Learn to be silent. Bhajan must lead you into silence, not merely outer silence, inner silence, silence of the mind. Mauna helps calming the mind. When you talk too much, the mind is in a world. External mauna gives you internal mauna, or stillness of the mind. The purpose of mauna is this. It is not mere mechanical control of speech. Mauna helps in calming the mind. On that day, an active young man was also a participant. Entire session, he was sitting on the floor. Totally immersed. Otherwise, he may not talk much. He'll come, just go. He is the son of one of our ashram sevaks, who is no more. As soon as he heard about the Bhavana session, he came here and told, I am joining. And then we did not know, but he came exactly on that day and took part in everything, not uttering a word. Mauna helps in calming the mind. When you talk too much, the mind is in a world. External mauna gives you internal mauna, or stillness of the mind. The purpose of mauna is this. It is not mere mechanical control of speech. Stillness of the mind is essential in order to experience absolute peace and bliss. A wandering mind cannot see God. It must become still. Still the waves of the mind. See the Atman. After attaining the Atman, you see that all this is Brahman. Stillness of the mind is essential in order to experience absolute peace and bliss. A wandering mind cannot see God. It must become still. Still the waves of the mind. See the Atman. Go on repeating Ramnam continuously without any break. The method of approach through sound has been found to be the easiest. As soon as the mind is absorbed in it, in the sound, we rise higher into a state of superconsciousness, where there is absolute soundlessness. These are all words of Papa, we have to ponder deeply. As soon as the mind absorbed in it, that means the sound. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram. As soon as the mind is absorbed in it, we rise higher into a state of superconsciousness. Now we realize that our chanting is not making us to help the mind absorbed in it. It is going on, superficially. Because if the absorption has taken place, we will not become aware of even the chanting. The sound that you hear is what comes out of that infinite silence. Not you. The sound that you hear is what comes out of that infinite silence. That is why he could declare, God is making me repeat his name. So many clarifications. The sound that you hear is what comes out of that infinite silence. The chanter is not there. When we repeat the mantra aloud, we tune ourselves to the sound produced by it, and through the sound, we enter into the perfect stillness within us. Outwardly, the chanting is going on. When we repeat the mantra aloud, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, now it's only chanting, no? We tune ourselves to the sound produced by it. And through the sound, we enter into the perfect stillness within us. So the sound must possess us. The sound is the first movement of the motionless. The sound is the first movement of the motionless. When we take to this Mauna session seriously and then read again his words, the meaning becomes more and more clearer and clearer. So let us all try. And we don't have to wait for 13th October. Every day we can try. Whatever time is available for us. He has given us so many, but now he is also giving us some provision to find time where we try all this. So that by the time we reach 13th, it will become easier for us. And then it slowly becomes a part of our daily routine. Not to be limited to this second Sunday of every month. It should become a part of our daily routine. And so now, instrumental cause is Mauna session. Motivation, no? Just like Rama chanting has become a part of our nature, inward journey also should become a part of our nature.
Swamiji said the second nature.
Huh?
Second nature.
Second nature. It becomes our second nature. So let us all try our level best and pray to him, who is leading us now. Wonderfully, he is leading us all. And so let us try to eke out the maximum benefit from all the promptings he has given. So more on Monday. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Shri
Jai
Ram,
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Shri
Jai
Ram,
Ram,
Jai
Jai
Ram,
Ram,
Jai
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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai
Ram,
Ram,
Jai 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 Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Sri Ram, Jai
Ram,
Ram,
Jai
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 Ram.
Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam, Pranam, Pranam. Namaskaram, Namaskaram. Pranam,
Hari
Namaskaram.
Om, Pranam.
Dina is hearing from the taxi. Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hariam Swamiji.
Hari Om. Sarlaben, Pushpaben, Ellen.
Hariam Swamiji.
Hari Om.
ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಒಂದು
Kadakadasila.
ರೂಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು
We'll meet later.
ಸರಿ
We'll meet later. Again, already?
திங்கக்கிழமை பாரு திங்கக்கிழமை
Again, already?
இங்கே ராமகிருஷ்ண தபோவனம் ராமகிருஷ்ண தபோவனம்
சரி சரி அகிலாண்ட சுவாமியெல்லாம் நம்ம தெரியும்.
சரி
மதுரைகள் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி
வந்திருக்கேன் சார் 10 வருஷம் முன்னால் வந்திருக்கேன். அடுத்த நடுவில் வர முடியல இப்போதான் வந்திருக்கேன்.
சரி பார்ப்போம்.
சரி
என்ன வேணும்னா சொல்லணும்.
சரி
மண்டே தானே போவேன்.
ஆமாம் சார்
நாளைக்கு சாட்டர்டே அல்வா.
ஆமாம்
யூ ஸ்பெண்ட் சம் டைம்.
ஓகே
மண்டே எப்போ போகணும்?
மதியம் 12 மணி இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்
12 மணி தானே. மார்னிங் ஒரு 9 மணிக்கு வாங்கும்.
சரி
யூ ஸ்பெண்ட் சம் டைம்.
ஓகே
ஐயோ
சரி